Definitely, definitely. Now, what do you think about it? Here's some other meddling that's going on from the government. This thing called Cash for Clunkers. This is a $4,500 government subsidy to turn your clunker in. And
yeah, it's I could attack that from all sorts of levels, but let's try this one for starters. Just what do they think they're going to achieve with this? When you turn in your vehicle and buy a new vehicle, that puts your old vehicle on the market for the used car market. I mean, the old vehicle is not really a clunker at all. It's just a vehicle that it gets less than 10 miles a gallon less than the one you bought. That's fine. But that old vehicle then goes on the used car market and supposedly then replaces an even older vehicle. And nobody knows the mileage of that older vehicle, so it's not clear that this would really improve the economy or the mileage per gallon economy of efficiency of the entire national fleet, so to speak. You don't track everything. You don't have all the variables tracked.
I see. It also seems to be just silly on the face of it, where somebody give you $4,500 extra, over the normal, whatever your trade-in value would be. Wouldn't that just create an incentive to just bring, not only to bring the car in and just to flip it, but then split the $4,500 with the dealer, and essentially no good has been done. It's just the car's still on the market, as you mentioned, and all the money would just be swallowed up and as just a silly handout that I don't think.
Actually, you're accusing people of potential fraud. Then you're saying that they're going to take the $4,500 and not really make the trade.
Yeah, either that or they do make it, but it's a ring, and then they split the money up.
All kinds of things can happen. I mean, if you're going to cheat somebody, the federal government's probably the easiest to cheat. I mean, welfare fraud is rampant and about everything because the government just leaks money, so that's the way it works. But here's the way I would put it. Would you be willing to get together call a meeting of all your neighbors and have them write down on a piece of paper the mile per gallon that all the neighbors in your neighborhood get on their cars, and then you take the lowest one and all the neighbors get together and they say, we will offer you, the low mileage neighbor, $4,500 to buy a new car and sell the old one. And everybody agrees to that, and they all chip in, and everybody puts in a few $100s, and there could be like several dozen people involved in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you could get your low mileage neighbor to buy a new car by this incentive. And now, would you be willing to do that? And the question is, would you be in your right mind if you did that? What would be your motive for doing that? What would be in your interest to do that? Would it be achieving anything? I doubt it. I don't think that if this was suggested that this scheme was to be executed on a free will basis, that there would be anybody in any neighborhood that would bother to do that. And yet, that's what the government is proposing to do by force.
It doesn't make any sense.
They're going to take the money from the neighbors by force through the taxes and hand it over to the one neighbor that has the low mileage car. It doesn't make any sense. But you'd have to ask, just what is the motivation of the government to do this? And I have an answer to that, I think, and that is that General Motors is lobbying for this in order to help them sell cars.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Even the leftist type senators are seeing that it seems to be just another version of a bailout. Just a bailout in drag.
And when I first read about the senators who were objecting to this, people like Boxer and Feinstein and all the control freaks that you could think of. Oh, they weren't objecting to the principle at all. Oh, no, they were just objecting to the idea that it wouldn't work and lower the mileage or the miles, or increase the miles per gallon on average. They don't think it would work, and they were afraid of fraud. But in principle, it seems that they are all for these kinds of laws that manipulate people.
Yeah, it's and then of course the premise itself of that fuel efficiency is going to lead to less warming of the planet and good environment, less dependence on foreign oil. We've debunked that connection before.
Well, I think it's already been proven that if you give people cars that get better miles per gallon, they just go further with them. They don't save the fuel.
Right, they just drive more.
Yeah, just drive more. Right.
More affordable to drive further.
More affordable to drive further, right?